Hey friend, welcome back to my channel. This is My Modest Vanity. So today I'm coming with a video about my first month being vegan. It's been a little longer than a month since I've been a vegan. I think I'm going on 2-3 months now. But I did want to talk about my experience as far as my first month being vegan and transitioning over from that, because like I said in my vegetarian video, if you haven't seen that, I'll put that down below, that I had a horrible diet. I was eating fast food every day, all day, and it wasn't like, I mean, I guess it really isn't really good fast food per se. I mean, Chick-fil-A isn't that bad, but I mean, I was eating McDonald's. Like, to me, that's the worst of the worst of the fast food. So I was eating that almost every day, multiple times a day sometimes. So I just had to make a drastic change. Like, I don't gain weight fast, so you know when you don't see it, you're thinking, okay, you're okay, but really no, it's gonna catch up with you in the long run. And I definitely want to change my diet and get back to being healthy and all that stuff before I hit 30. Because once you hit 30, your body is no longer your friend. It's against you, and your metabolism slows down. It's stuff you thought you could eat, now you're gaining weight from it. So it's like, let me get this together now and catch it now before I go down that slippery slope and then I can't get back. So I was like, I have to change my diet. Because with me, it's either I do really bad or I do really good. There's no in between. So I was doing really bad, so it's like, let me do really good. And that's also how I became a vegan. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying with my vegetarian video, that, you know, I'm doing it for my health. I'm doing it for, I guess, moral, ethical reasons too, because I don't want to condone or participate in the slaughtering of any type of animal. Like I said in my other video, I love animals, so I can't say that I love animals and still participate in that and eating them and everything like that. So those are some of the main reasons why I became vegan. Well, transitioned from vegetarian to vegan. But if you watched my other video, you already know all that stuff. But as far as for my first month being official vegan, it was a blast. It was a breeze. Especially with me transitioning from being a vegetarian, so I didn't really have to cut out that much more stuff. It was a little more difficult because with being a vegetarian, you know, to me, a true vegetarian, you don't eat meat, but you still might eat dairy, or you might eat eggs or something to that nature, or something that contains those ingredients. So going out isn't as bad, because you can get, like, say you go to Taco Bell and get a cheese quesadilla, or you go to like a sandwich shop, you can get the sandwich, you can get the bread, you can get the cheese and all that kind of stuff. Or like, say if you eat mayonnaise, gross, you can get that kind of stuff in your sandwich. When you're vegan, you know, you can't do that anymore, because you can't have any type of dairy, any type of animal byproduct, whatever. You can't have it anymore. So going out is a little more difficult, but like I said in my previous video, my vegetarian video, I like that because it forces me to have to make better decisions with what I eat. Like, I can't just say, oh, okay, I'm gonna go to McDonald's and go grab a burger. No, I can't do that anymore, which I like, because like I said, I was eating horrible, and McDonald's is awful for you anyway. It's a slow killer. So I'm trying to be 200. I don't know about you guys, but I want to be 200, and that's what I'm putting out to the universe. I want to be 200, so that's another reason why I decided to just transition completely and become vegan. But as far as cost of food, to me, it's not that big of a difference. Like, I was telling a girl I know, she said she used to be vegan, and she started back eating meat because she said it was cheaper. I was like, not really, because think about it. If you're vegan, you're eating fruits, vegetables, rice, quinoa, grains and things like that. So if you buy a bag of rice, let's say you don't eat brown rice, let's say you get white rice, a pound of white rice is a couple of dollars. A pound of chicken, a pound of ground beef, steak, whatever it is you eat, a pound of that is $5 and up. I don't care what store you're in, Walmart, Publix, definitely Publix is gonna be like $10, but no matter what store you're in, a pound of meat is gonna be $5 and up. So, and then you buying, you know, everything to go with it. Even with my rice, let's say I buy rice and I eat rice and broccoli. couple dollars for a bag of rice, a pound of it. So that's going to last me quite some time. A pound of chicken legs, probably eat off a few times. That pound of rice, I can eat off for probably the rest of the month. Depending on like your portion, how much you're eating of it. And then say some broccoli, a bag of broccoli, couple of bucks. So I just made, and I get off that for a week, just the broccoli and the rice, for like maybe $6. Whereas you buy the pound of chicken, let's say $6 for the pound of chicken. Then you say you buy, let's say you get broccoli. So okay, a couple more dollars for the broccoli. Then you want another side because you want your starch. So let's say you're getting like mashed potatoes, or let's say you're doing rice. So that's $6 I just paid to eat for the week. Now you got to add $6 to $10 more to that because you're buying meat. So to me, I think being vegan is, I won't say cheaper. It depends on what you're eating and how you're eating. It can be cheaper. It can be the same thing, because then you have to think about too. You have to buy kind of specialty food because you're vegan. So you can't, like, I just bought I think it's called Soylicious, something like that, the non-dairy ice cream. I just bought a 4-pack of the little ice cream bars, and that was $5. Whereas if you buy regular ice cream sandwiches or bars, whatever, it's like $2-3. So I mean, I feel like it kind of balances out. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's still the same. But like I said, to me, it was a little difficult, but it wasn't hard to where like, oh, I can't do this. I don't want to do this anymore. I quit. So I definitely enjoy being vegan. I would not change. I'm not going back. So I mean, if you have any questions about being vegan, definitely leave them down below in the comments section. Now, as far as being a vegan, a lot of people, when I tell people they're vegan, like, what do you eat? Just berries and fruit? No, I don't just eat just berries and fruit. I mean, that is going to be a good portion of my diet, which is fine. Like, it's good for you. It's healthy. So I'm going to get to live 200 by making sure my body's good. But, I mean, yeah, you're going to eat fruits and vegetables. You can eat tofu. As far as, like, milk, you can have the milk dairy alternatives like coconut, soy, almond milk, cashew milk. You can have meat alternatives. Like the other day, I had my favorite brand right now as far as meat alternatives is Tofurkey. I think that's what it's called. And I had their Italian sausages, and I made a pasta with that. It sort of was a pasta. I use gnocchi instead of pasta because when I was in Publix looking for pasta, the ingredients were fine. It was the fact that it said processed in a machine that contained eggs at some point. So I was like, okay. So for right now, I'm not eating pasta until I go to Whole Foods, because I know they have like pasta that's made from like garbanzo beans and things like that, until I get my pasta alternative. So I had gnocchi, I had red sauce, and I have the Italian sausage. And my sister, who is not a vegan or a vegetarian, she definitely eats meat. She tried. She said if I wouldn't have told her that it was Tofurkey, wasn't real sausage, she wouldn't have known it. So I mean, there's definitely food you can eat. Like, I've made vegan pizza, I've made vegan nachos. Like, you can definitely still, if you feel like it's harder for you to transition because you're gonna miss certain foods, there's a vegan version of that food that you can have. I guarantee you. Like burgers, you like burgers. There's veggie burgers. Like, there's an alternative. Any type of food you want. I went to a restaurant and had barbecue ribs. It was obviously not ribs. It was, I want to say, was tempeh, possibly. I mean, there's definitely alternatives. Then I always get, oh, well, where are you getting your protein? First of all, about 90% of the people who say that to me don't even know what protein is or what it's for. You've just been told, oh, you need protein, you need protein, you need protein. So if you're a vegan out there, you understand exactly what I'm saying. The two questions I always get: what do you eat, and how do you get your protein? How do you get your protein? Do you even know what protein is for? And the last time someone asked me that, I said, so what's protein? And they kept giving me answers as how you get protein. Oh, it's milk. Oh, it's meat. I said, not where you get protein. What is protein? And she definitely had to Google what protein was. So don't be discouraged, and people, don't be discouraged or annoyed when people ask you those questions, because they're not educated on the vegan lifestyle. So I mean, and they're going based off of what they hear other people say, so they think that's what it is, and it's not. You definitely get protein. A lot of vegetables have more protein than meat does. Think about it like this. Okay, people say who eat meat, they say they get their protein from dairy, from meat, from whatever the case may be. Okay, let's say you get your protein. You say, oh, I eat steak or beef, whatever, because of the protein. Okay, that's fine. That's true. You will get protein from that. But what do cows eat? They don't eat meat. They eat grass. They eat leaves. They eat plants. So if they eat plants and that's your source of protein, it's based off of their diet and what they're ingesting and taking and eating. So how can I not get protein from plants if what you're claiming you get protein from animals, and these animals don't eat meat? Fish, you eating tilapia, catfish, salmon, all that kind of stuff, they don't eat meat. They are herbivores. That's the right word. Yes, herbivores. So instead of me eating the animal to get the quote unquote protein, why not just go to the first source and eat the plant instead of going to the secondary source eating the meat? So keep that in mind when people say, oh, well, how are you going to get your protein? The same way the animals that you're eating gets their protein from plants. So something to think about. But nonetheless, I love being a vegan. I'm not going back. Oh, I do have I guess a horror story. It was a horror story for me. I thought I was going to die. So maybe 2-3 weeks after becoming vegan, I went out to nightclubs, hanging out with friends. And of course, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, they don't really have many vegan options. So I had chips and salsa. That was as close as I was going to get to vegan as I could. Then my friend, she had queso. So I was like, oh, I've only been vegan a couple weeks. It's not a really big deal. So I ate some of her queso. No problem. I went home, went to sleep, woke up the next day. I was so sick. And let me actually rewind it back. Even after I went vegan, I started doing a lot of cleanses and detoxing to, flush out the dairy, get the meat, all that kind of stuff, get all that kind of animal stuff out of my body. So I'm pretty sure at that point I probably had no type of animal products and meat in my body. So me eating that queso was probably like death. So I'm about to get this out of us right now. But like I said, the next day I was sick, and it didn't click in my head that I had the queso. I'm thinking maybe I had a really bad hangover, but I didn't drink a lot. I'm not a big drinker. I'll drink here and there. But I'm thinking, okay, I have a hangover. I'm trying to figure out what I can do. When I tell you I could not keep anything down, I drank water, came up. Juice came up. I tried to eat saltine crackers because that's supposed to help with nausea. Came up. Ginger ale came up. Nothing would stay down, and I couldn't figure out why I was having such a bad hangover. And then it clicked in my head. I said, I ate cheese. So I was sick the entire day from 8 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock that night, or probably, I think it was about the time I fell asleep. And every time I got out of my bed, I had to throw up. I was like a prisoner in my bed. I didn't want to move because if I got up, I was going to throw up. So I definitely, even if I wanted to go back to eating animal and cheese and dairy, all that kind of stuff, my body's like, no. Which I'm glad. It's you're this way for life. I would never, ever, ever put cheese, anything like that in my body ever again if I have another day like that. So that was a lesson well learned. Oh, you thought you could cheat and do that? Oh no, my body said, get this out of us, and this is payback. So it's vegan for life, team vegan forever and ever and ever, ever. So if you have questions, definitely feel free to leave me a comment down below. I'm thinking about starting a vegan series where I show you things I cook at home. If you follow me on Snapchat, you already see that because I do that a lot on my Snapchat. I'll snap what I'm cooking, what I'm eating throughout the day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. So just so people who are thinking about being vegan, they don't think it's just like a lost cause and they're going to be stuck just eating vegetables and berries all the time. I show you there's definitely alternatives to eating meat, and you can eat non-meat products and non-dairy products, non-animal products, and it still tastes good. It still be good for you. It still look good. It still look like food. So until next time, see you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, so I did forget to mention, when I did transition to being full vegan, I would say the only thing, well, I can't say it's difficult because I do it anyway, because there were things I already did not eat, so I had to make sure things that I ate anyway didn't have those products. Like, I haven't eaten pork since I was 10, and a lot of things, believe it or not, have pork in them or pork byproducts like lard, or it's called shortening, in the ingredients. So I always had to be cautious of what I was eating anyway. So that's always the thing. More so now, I really have to really make sure I'm reading the ingredients like thoroughly, to make sure that I'm not ingesting any type of animal byproducts into my system. So I would say for most people, because most people don't do that, that part may be difficult. Like, you literally have to be careful everything you eat, what you're eating. And I kind of go to a different website. Like, I go to the PETA website because, like, you know, sometimes you want chips. So I'm like, what chips can I eat? Because I was at Publix the other day and they had a sale on buy one get one free kettle chips, and I wanted the salt and vinegar and the jalapeno chips. And so I'm looking at the back, I look at the ingredients, they had milk in it. I said, why does the chips have milk in it? What is going on? So I could not get my chips because they had milk in them. So I had to get regular Lay's, which didn't have milk in them. Doritos, obviously I can't eat Doritos, but I went on the PETA website and they did tell me there was a particular, not brand, a particular flavor of Doritos that I can eat, which is the purple bag. It's spicy sweet chili, something like that. I can eat those. That does not have any dairy, cheese, anything like that in it. So those I can eat. And also too, I do feel better. I feel a lot better since transitioning. Like, it's only been a few months, so, you know, I'm not gonna be like a brand new woman per se, but I definitely do feel better. You know, like when you're eating and when you get full, you get tighter, or the itis or whatever. So you're like, I just need to lay down. You get really sluggish. I don't get that anymore. When I eat, I get energy and I'm bouncing off the wall and this and that, whatever. So that's definitely something different and better that I love about being vegan forever. So I did want to come back and mention that stuff, and make sure to subscribe to my channel, like my videos, follow me on my social media platforms. Everything is under My Modest Vanity, my Twitter, my Snapchat, my Instagram, my Facebook, YouTube. Everything is My Modest Vanity. Until next time.